Uh, uh, yeah. What's up, Cowboys fans? It's your boy Fusted. Hold on, ho. Hey. I'm just crumbling herb. Nah, not really though, y'all. Hey, some OG Outcast for the day, man. Let me turn it down a little bit, man. Cowboys friends, family, what's going on? It's your boy Fusted King. Hey, I was just jamming to some OG Outcast, man. Got off today feeling very, very good. What's up, y'all? It's been a little minute since I've talked to you, my Cowboys Nation family, all of you guys who been rocking with this channel, been supporting this channel, man. Check this out. It's here. The draft season is here, and I'm going to be doing a lot of content. I'll get to that later. But right now, first off, before I get into anything about this video, y'all see I got my John Lennon swag on. I feel real good, the gold feel and all that. This is the post free agency mock draft, and there was a specific reason why I wanted to wait until free agency hit, you know, to do my last Cowboys mock draft. This is going to be my last Cowboys mock draft. All I'm doing from this point forward is a versus series, and that's going to be, you know, player breakdowns of similar players who the Cowboys could possibly draft. For example, would be like a Buda Baker versus a Obi Melifonwu. I'm going to give their strengths, their weaknesses, and how they would fit with the Cowboys. You know, Derek Rivers versus Taco Charlton, or Charles Harris versus Taco Charlton. I'm going to do two players at the same position, and I'm going to start that up this coming week. I'm going to do one every other day. I'm going to get you guys a bunch of content, man. Thank y'all for growing with me. The channel is almost at 2,000 subscribers, so that means the world to me. So this is the post-free agency mock draft. Oh, yeah, before I get into anything, man, make sure y'all check out my music, man. Show me some love, yo. I appreciate that, yo. Okay, bet. So this is the post-free agency mock draft. And just a refresher, you know, the Cowboys lost a lot of players. They lost a lot of production. Brandon Carr, Morris Claiborne, Tyrone Crawford, Barry Church, Davis, Dunbar, McLean, Ron Leary, Doug Free retires. And so we did re-sign a couple of our own, T. Will, Bryce Butler, Darren McFadden, and we added Nolan Carroll, Damontae Moore, and Stephen Pia. So to touch on that very, very briefly and how this kind of affects this up-and-coming draft and my mock draft. Listen, Carr, great player, great production, wasn't worth big contract. Morris Claiborne, great player, couldn't stay healthy, never really reached his first-round potential. Remember, we traded up to get Morris Claiborne. Couldn't stay healthy. He had flashes. He had a great year last year, but, again, couldn't stay healthy. Barry Church will never be a great ceiling player. So the fact that he was able to get money in Jacksonville, salute to Barry Church. Lance Dunbar, another one, always hurt, got his money elsewhere, salute to him. He's now with the Rams. So, again, and you even look at, you know, J.J. Wilcox was able to get paid. I'm not mad at none of these players, but you can tell the regime, and this is, again, why you guys can't get caught up in mainstream media. I don't even watch it. I rarely watch ESPN anymore. Mainstream media will tell you, oh, the Cowboys are in so much trouble. Jerry Jones doesn't know what he's doing. Think about it like this, Cowboys fans. Remember all last year, Jerry Jones doesn't know how to handle the Dak Prescott situation. We're going to be in trouble. All we did was go 13-3. How is a team that went 13-3? Yes, we did lose the playoff game. To me, the reason why was because we sat our players against Philly. But nonetheless, how is a team that had that good of a record in trouble? How did he handle it wrong? He didn't handle anything wrong. The fact of the matter is, you have mainstream media who just knows that people will click on it if it says the Cowboys. They have to lead off everything with the Cowboys. Stephen A., even Skip Bayless, they all have to reach because we are America's team. They know that we get clicks. Either you love us or you hate us. There's no in-between. Stephen Jones is running this team. Stephen Jones and Will McClay. And you guys know that. We now believe in the philosophy of drafting well. Started with Tyron Smith. Started with Travis Frederick. Started with Zach Martin. You know, and you look at mainstream mock people, mainstream drafters, mainstream draft experts, Mel Kiper. Well, all Mel Kiper did was say Dak Prescott is a career backup at best. Mel Kiper said that, you know, Travis Frederick was a third-round player. Look how they've turned out. So you got to be careful. These guys, all they do is attach their name to the Cowboys and think that they understand what they're talking about. I talk about the Cowboys because I'm sincerely plugged in. And I also open up the forum and talk to you guys about other ideas. So that's my diatribe on free agency and the teams, kind of what our philosophy is now. We are not going to overpay in free agency. We're not. If Jerry Jones was still at the forefront and he was bad Jerry Jones, then we would be oversigning guys like the Redskins still are. We haven't done that. We're going to develop and draft, and we're going to, develop and get players better. Period. Look at Anthony Brown. Look at Malik Collins. It wasn't just Zeke and Dak. We got a lot of production out of this draft class. So, with my first pick, and I used the FanSpeak mock draft simulator, and what I did was I tried to hit a couple areas that not only did I say, was this somewhere that we could get better, but just the player at these positions is going to make us better team with what we already have. And so, for my first pick, it's not even an option, man. I love watching his tape. I find myself, just compared to all the other safeties in the draft, I find myself watching his tape so much. And I'm just extremely ecstatic with the player that he is, with his feistiness. I know he's small, but Budda Baker, and that was my first pick, round 1, pick 28. Budda Baker is the guy, man. The way he plays, his hips, the way he comes down, he's... I gotta calm myself down. Listen, his football IQ, you guys know this if you follow the channel. Football IQ is so important to me. His football IQ is probably better than, Malik Hooker and Jamal Adams. The problem is they have the size, and they were at, I wouldn't say bigger programs, but, they have the size. And a little bit more production in the tackling. Jamal Adams and Hooker has made a few more splash plays. But that's not to say that Budda Baker doesn't. Everybody is going to knock Budda Baker because of his size. His size is very comparable to Earl Thomas. I'm not saying he's Earl Thomas, but you see traits. Go watch his film. Always around the ball, making plays, intercepting the ball. Watching the Arizona game, flying all over the field. Watching the Alabama game, almost had a pick there, coming down and making hits against that big running back. I forget their name, his name. Sack, he's a great blitzer, and he can play nickel. So you mean to tell me that you pair that with Byron Jones, Jeff Heath, who's a decent player. I don't know what Kayvon Frazier is going to give you, but if you can just, on nickel downs, you can pair him, come in and guard your slot, and then won't give up anything as a tackler because he's a very good tackler. Budda Baker is an all-around complete safety. I love him. He's kind of been forgotten about, but he is my guy. If he's there at 28, the Cowboys have to make this pick. Second round, I went with a player who I wasn't very familiar with, but when I watched his tape and I saw his production, I was like, wow, this guy would 100% fit in with what the Cowboys do. I think that he's a great player. I think that he's great off the edge, and that was Derek Rivers from Youngstown State, career sacks. He had 14 career sacks. I love Derek Rivers. I love his motor. I love his pass rush ability. And the main thing I love about Derek Rivers, when he gets washed out of a play, for whatever reason, if it's a running play, he's able to get back in the play and make a tackle. So many defensive ends now are just getting kicked out by these offensive tackles at the college level. Now, that is something that you have to be developed, but it's also will. Derek Rivers has the will to get back in the play and make a tackle. I love the pick. I think that would be a great pick for the Cowboys. We need defensive end help. But at the end of the first round, you don't want to reach. So if you can get a guy like Derek Rivers in the second, I would make that pick. Third, I went with another corner, hybrid type, because has some nickel ability, has some safety ability, and that is Damontae Kazee. And just his ball production, San Diego State, slot corner, can play the outside, kind of small to play the outside in the NFL, but he has the ball production that I would love him in my slot. We don't know what Orlando Scandrick is going to give us, Cowboys fans. If we did, he would be healthy more times than none. Orlando Scandrick isn't healthy, and whenever he goes in for a tackle, it seems like he's always laying on the floor, or we don't know what's going to happen. I think that this guy has a knack for the ball. 17 career interceptions. I know he played at a small school, but if you turn the film on, turn his highlight tape on, he's extremely ball savvy. He's smart. He won't get him with double moves. Doesn't have the top end speed of some of the top guys, but I think in the third, great value. Damontae Kazee, that's my third round pick. So, moving on. Now, this will surprise you guys, and this is what I mean with I had a plan. You guys are going to say, what? This doesn't make sense. Well, In the 4th round, I went with a small school. I think he's Middle Tennessee State. Jeremy Cutrer can play some safety, can play some corner. That's right. I doubled down on 3 corners, well, 3 defensive backs, 1 defensive end. Why would you do that, Foots? That doesn't make sense. Yes, it does. With the injury history of this team, we don't know what Anthony Brown is going to for sure be. We don't know if Byron Jones hasn't gotten hurt yet. I want to have as many guys back there. I just want to throw guys at the position and just see what comes out. This is another guy, small school guy. If you turn on his film, again, he had a game against Alabama, man. He looks so good. I'm serious. Hips look good. Ball production is very good. Can turn, can run, can play safety. And the biggest thing I like about this kid, he will tackle. Some of these guys, Adoree Jackson, some of these guys higher and higher rounds. Even, I mean, honestly, I love the kid. What's the first round kid from Ohio State? Not Marlon Jackson, not Marlon Humphreys. Ohio State corner. I hate when I go blank on these kids. But nonetheless, I challenge some of these guys. Marshawn Lattimore, guys. Some of these guys just don't like to tackle. They throw their this kid, him and Chidobe Awuzie from Colorado were very good tacklers. That was the thing when I watched their full game tape that stood out to me. They like to tackle. It's a travesty in the NFL how many missed tackles there are. Missed tackles save a lot. It lets you can get to the next play. You can get an interception. So many things can happen. If we have a guy who already has the mentality that I can at least make a tackle, I can stay on the field, that means a lot to me. This was my 4th round pick. So now we went, in this mock draft, I went 4 defensive players. It's a reason. I want to throw guys at the position. I want to stir it up because we need defensive back help, period. You're not going to get that war daddy you want unless you package picks and try to move up. So that's why I went with Derek Rivers in the 2nd. But I'm telling you, this value, if we were able to get Budda Baker, Damontae Kazee, and Jeremy Cutrer, and this was a youth movement in our secondary, we just replaced all of those guys along with the Nolan Carroll, I think we will be in great shape. Then I rounded up the rest of this draft. Robert Davis, a young receiver in the 6th from Georgia State. Seth Russell, a developmental quarterback from Baylor. And then I went round 7. His dad used to play in the NFL, Hardy Nickerson Jr., a linebacker. Listen, guys, we're going to, Seth Russell, I just wanted development guys behind that. Listen, Cowboys fans, this is my last mock. What's going to happen on April 27th? They're going to draft. And we're going to deal with it, and I'm going to do a breakdown and see, what this guy can bring to this team and how it works with our scheme. It's no need. I'm not going to do 3,000 mock drafts and throw a bunch of – it's no need for it. None of these guys and none of these quote-unquote experts know any more than me or you. They've been around the league. They rub shoulders with owners. But at the end of the day, every team has a specific plan for what they're trying to do. This is what I would do. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching this visual. Thank you for watching this video. Continue to support my music. Continue to support the band page. I'm going to start the Versus series very soon. And I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on anything Cowboys related. It's your boy Foots the King, Cowboys Nation. We out.